Hey everyone, this is Gina Caputo, and I have got the sweetest snack for you today. This yoga snack is a restorative yoga snack, and this is my all-time favorite restorative pose. I was inspired to do this because we're heading into a pretty stressful time of year, and I thought it might be helpful to you to have a reliable go-to restorative pose. You don't have to do a lot of them. You could just do one and hold it for 5, 10, 15, even 20 minutes. Now I've got a lot of gear here, but I'm going to give you alternatives for everything I'm using and explain the why behind each thing. So first up is I've got a folded blanket that I'm going to have under my head. When I'm lying in Shavasana for 5 minutes or so, it's totally cool. But when I'm laying in a restorative pose for maybe 20 minutes, I really start to feel the pressure of my skull against the floor. So I think for longer periods, it's nice to have extra padding. So this is a wool blanket, but you could also use a beach towel. You could use a pillow, but I'm going to show you a little roll that I'll make, and you can't do that with a pillow. So a blanket or a beach towel is great for under your head. Now at the other end of the mat, this is going to be under my legs, I've got a bolster and 2 blankets. Now if you don't have a bolster, it's no problem. My favorite bolster substitute is that you take a regular pillowcase and put not 1, but 2 pillows inside of it. And what that does is it makes it firm and more like a bolster. A bolster doesn't really work if your legs just drop right back down to the floor, if you have a really squishy pillow. So you want it to be firm. You could take 2 double stuffed pillows even and stack them. If you have a bolster, grab it. If you have 2 bolsters, well, even better. But if you don't have 2 bolsters, you can also stack up some blankets like I have here. And if you don't have blankets, towels. They work just as well. Another thing I've got here is a yoga strap. Now you could use something like a belt if you have one, or even like a necktie, anything that you could tie into a small loop. I'll show you the why on this very shortly. And then last but not least, the weight. This isn't necessary, but I find this is really just what pushes this one over the top into absolute greatness. Now in 2019-ish, I think, weighted blankets became really popular. So you might have picked one up then. And if you have a weighted blanket, this is a pose to use that weighted blanket in. You could just drape it right over yourself. If you don't have one though, you can make a little weighted bag out of things like a 5-pound bag of beans, something like that. You can put together weighted things, and beans or bags of rice are actually often handy and also quite affordable. I've got here a weighted sandbag that's actually made for yoga. You can certainly make one of these if you happen to have some sand on hand. I would recommend you double bag it if you're putting sand in let's say like a Ziploc, something like that. It would work. So this is a weighted sandbag, and this is a really special treat. This is just like a small weighted blanket. It's essentially a weighted pad. And this is like the sandbag, except it distributes the weight over greater surface area. So what's the big deal with the weight? It's soothing in the sense that when your energy is spinning and everything feels chaotic, it grounds you. It's like this loving hand of the universe says, come here, be still. You can do the pose without any weight, absolutely, of course, but I would also say it's sometimes nice to just place a blanket over your body so you feel a little bit of that same weighted comfort. All right, on to the pose. So first, you're going to swing your legs on top of your stack of bolster, blankets, towels, whatever it is that you're using. And you want your calves to be resting on the topmost cushion. Next, you're going to take your strap and loop it around your thighs. So whatever you're using as a strap, go ahead and tie it around your thighs, not so tight that your legs are zipped completely together, but let's say a little bit wider than hip width apart. And what this is all about is that it allows you to relax your legs completely outward into the strap. Believe it or not, when you're lying there with your legs up, some amount you're going to be squeezing your legs in so they don't fall off. This strap takes that effort out of it. And it seems like it's not a big deal, but trust me, when you're laying there for a long time, it becomes a big deal. So I've got this looped around my thighs, and I'm going to roll back. And now you might apply any weight that you have. I'm going to go ahead and use this weighted pad. Oh heck, I'm going to use both. Why not? I like to, if I have to choose one spot and I don't have this pad to cover my whole torso, I personally like to have the weight on my lower abdomen, not like above my stomach, but more above my hip bones. I really encourage you to find the spot that feels deeply soothing and safe to you. So now I've got my weight, and last but not least, my head and neck. So I've got this blanket to cushion the back of my head, and this could be enough. One last touch might be that you reach back and just do a little bit of a roll so that you've got that now a blanket roll that fills that space between the floor and the back of your neck, which is of course curved. All right, I can already feel the restorative magic setting in. So you want to observe your body. And here I say observe from the inside. Notice how it feels. Make any last movements to make yourself even more comfortable. And then from here, you'll settle in for as much time as you're willing to give yourself today. I recommend that you actually set a timer for yourself when you come into a restorative pose. So you're not constantly guessing at what time it is, how long have I been here, and so on and so forth. So that you can really focus on the sensations of restoration and rejuvenation. So I'll leave you to it. I hope that you use this delectable yoga snack when you need it most. I'll see you next time for another yoga snack. When you finally get up from this, be sure to give a like to this video and make sure you're subscribed to my Yoga Snacks channel. Thank you.